Hello, everyone. This channel is about real stories. Enjoy listening.
It started like any ordinary night. I was sitting in our cozy living room, scrolling aimlessly through my phone, when I heard the sound of a car pulling up outside. It was late past midnight, but I knew it had to be her. My wife, Amy, had been on a business trip for the last 3 days. That wasn't unusual. Her job often required travel. What was unusual was the overly chipper tone in her texts this time. She seemed different. The door swung open, and there she was, suitcase in one hand, phone in the other, face beaming with joy I hadn't seen in years. She kicked off her heels, laughed about the trip, raved about the food, and rambled on about meetings. I almost smiled because something felt off. Her laugh, her glow, the way she clutched her phone like it carried secrets. "You seem really happy," I joked, giving her a hug. "Yeah, maybe," she said, pulling away quickly. "I'll unpack." But in the bedroom, her tone changed. Through the cracked door I heard her muttering, "No, no, no, this can't be happening." I peeked in. She sat pale on the edge of the bed, staring at a piece of paper. When I asked what was wrong, she shoved it back into her suitcase. "Just work stuff." She forced a laugh, but my gut screamed otherwise. Later, when she was in the shower, I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I opened her suitcase at first. Nothing unusual. Clothes, papers, toiletries. Then, at the bottom, a gift box wrapped with a red ribbon. Inside was a black lingerie set, far more provocative than anything she'd ever worn for me. Tucked inside, a card in her handwriting, for when we're finally alone. My chest tightened. Proof. This wasn't business. This was betrayal. I put everything back, hands shaking. When Amy came out, acting casual, I pretended to be fine, but that night I didn't sleep a wink. The next morning, while she showered, I took her phone from the counter. Her passcode was still our wedding date. Ironic. There it was. A text thread with a man named Ethan Reynolds. "Amy, I can't stop thinking about this weekend. You were perfect. Ethan, I miss you already. Hate sneaking around, but it's worth it. Amy." Me too. Photos followed. Selfies in a hotel room. Amy in that same lingerie. My stomach dropped. The air felt like it had been sucked out of the room. I put the phone back just in time. When she came out, I said I had errands and left in the car, shaking. I called a private investigator. His name was Jack. I gave him everything, messages, call, logs, details. He agreed to dig deeper. For the next week, I played the perfect husband. I laughed at her jokes, kissed her goodnight, all while knowing the truth. Then Jack called. "We've got something. You'll want to see this." We met at a diner. He slid me a manila folder. Inside were photos, Amy and Ethan at a hotel bar, his hand on her thigh, holding hands into the elevator. Intimate, unmistakable, and a booking confirmation, and Ethan had a Miami trip planned in 2 weeks. I felt sick, but also clear. The betrayal wasn't suspicion anymore. It was fact. Jack handed me a USB. Surveillance footage confirms everything. That night in my car, I watched. Lobby greetings, bar flirting, elevator kisses, then into a hotel room together. They didn't come out until morning. I closed my laptop, heart in my throat. It was undeniable. I planned my move carefully. I printed screenshots, saved copies, prepared backups. This wouldn't be a shouting match. It would be cold, undeniable proof. Finally, one evening, I set the stage. "Amy, we need to talk," I said, placing the folder on the coffee table. Her eyes flickered. "What's that?" "First, is there anything you want to tell me?" She froze. "What do you mean?" "You know exactly what I mean. One chance. Be honest." Silence. I opened the folder and slid the photos toward her. Her face went pale. Her hands shook. "I can explain." "Oh, I'm sure you can." I cut her off. I played the elevator footage. Her color drained. It's not what it looks like, she whispered. It's exactly what it looks like. I know about Ethan. I know about Miami. I know everything. Tears welled up. I'm sorry. It just happened. It just happened, I snapped. Affairs don't just happen. You planned this. Lead for months. Don't insult me, she sobbed. I didn't mean for it to go this far. How far were you planning? Miami leaving me behind? No, I wasn't going to leave you, I swear. I slammed my hand on the table. Was I not enough? She couldn't even look at me. Her silence was my answer. Finally, she whispered, I never stopped loving you. I laughed bitterly. You don't do this to someone you love. Spare me, her. Tears poured, but I was unmoved. I dropped printed screenshots on the table. This is going to our lawyer. I'm filing for divorce. Her jaw dropped. No, please, we can work through this. Don't leave. I pulled my hand away. You already left the moment you chose him. I packed a bag and left at a motel that night. I stared at the folder. It hurt, but I felt clarity. This wasn't the end of me. It was the end of us. The next day I called a divorce attorney. With the evidence, it was straightforward. I asked for a clean break, but made sure she'd face consequences. Then Jack called. Again. One more thing. Ethan's married. His wife found out. She's threatening to go public. The irony hit me. Amy hadn't just wrecked my life, she'd wrecked someone else's too. Let her go public, I said coldly. Amy deserves to feel her world crumble, and it did. Ethan's wife exposed everything. The fallout was brutal. Amy's reputation, career, everything shattered, but I didn't care anymore. That was her burden. The divorce was smooth. She didn't fight me, not with the evidence stacked against her. I kept the house. She moved out at first. I felt empty. Nights were long, quiet, and cold. But slowly, I started to rebuild. I reconnected with old friends, picked up hobbies, focused on myself. Months later, I was at a coffee shop, reading. A woman nearby struggled with her laptop and coffee. Need a hand? I asked. She laughed. Thanks. I swear, I'm usually more coordinated. Her name was Rachel. We talked for hours. She was kind, funny, easy to be around. For the first time in what felt like forever, I felt hope. As we exchanged numbers, I realized something. I wasn't broken. Amy's betrayal hadn't destroyed me. It had freed me. Moving on didn't mean forgetting, it meant choosing the future. Over the past, my story didn't end with betrayal. It ended with a fresh start. And for that, I'm grateful.